Oh, Vlad. So, some of these so-called Christian, so-called conservatives that, for example, have criticized Joe Biden so staunchly for being fucking creepy around kids. What say you to this, right? Oh, that's totally innocent, right? That's perfectly normal. It's a custom in Russia to pull up strange boys' t-shirts and kiss them on the belly. Perfectly normal. Nothing to see here. So I've been criticized in the past for being, quote, all over the place when it came to this whole, Russia-Ukraine thing. And I think that's because, I didn't choose a side, right? You have to choose a side. Are you on the left? Or are you on the right, right? Are you retarded? Seriously. So a lot of these so-called Christian conservatives who have forever warned about Davos, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, right? When finally somebody knocked on their fucking empty heads, knock, knock, anyone home? Yeah? And said, what about your guy Putin? He's part of the crew, right? And because some people started questioning that after the invasion, after he invaded Ukraine, right? The World Economic Forum, at least when it comes to their website, right? Removed Putin's personal info, bio page, whatever, and they say, these, Christian conservatives who think lying is a sin, right? That Putin renounced Klaus Schwab, that they're not friends anymore, and now he's fighting the globalists, right? See, you're the one who's not keeping it consistent, dummies. Those of you that are, right? So, after they said, well, Putin's no longer part of the team, blah, 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 right? The same people who said that, he kicked out the evil oligarchs out of Russia, right? So that he could become one, and kept the oligarchs that were friendly to him, right? He was just eliminating opposition, not oligarchs. Seriously, guys. Seriously, right? But anyway, if indeed that's what he did, why didn't he kick out Klaus Schwab and his organization out of Russia, right? But this isn't fucking rocket science, man. Right? You've had the lockdowns, restrictions, all the WEF agenda. It's all over Russia, right? It's everywhere. I know Putin will get on camera and he'll say things that make some of you so-called Christians, so-called conservatives feel good. Right? He'll say some things about gays. I mean, where's his wife at, right? Where are his kids at? Are those even his kids? Right? There's a lot of rumors floating around about your boy Putin. Lots of rumors, and people getting poisoned for saying things about him. I mean, that video's all I needed, right? That's all I need to know that there's something's wrong with the guy. Well, on top of all this other shit, obviously. But anyway, back to the World Economic Forum, right? So supposedly, he broke up with Klaus and they're no longer buddies and yada, 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 all this nonsense. And while all these woke so-called Christian conservatives were saying this shit, right? Putin had his, annual St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. Oh, goodness. Yeah. That same St. Petersburg International Economic Forum where Klaus and Putin would often meet and discuss what to do, or it was more like Klaus, right, told his young global leader what to do to carry out his agenda, basically, right? That same forum, right? Economic forum, international, no, different, no, not the same, different. It's not the World Economic Forum, it's the International Economic Forum. Right? I was inspired to make this video by that gathering, that meeting they had in Germany, right? About rebuilding Ukraine, right? The war's not over yet. They're already having a meeting and cutting up the pie, basically, right? Who's going to get what contracts and who's going to do what, who's going to employ their, corporate buddies, and that will no doubt be tasked with building these World Economic Forum, UN, whatever the fuck you want to call them, sustainable smart cities, all that other fucking nonsense, you know what I mean? So these people who met in Germany, right? Many of them, if not all of them, World Economic Forum attendees, right? Some other young global leaders are meeting now and discussing what they're going to do with Ukraine, right? Those same people that could have sent all these weapons that they sent to Ukraine to quote unquote help them out. They could have sent all these weapons right off the bat, right? In the very beginning, which would have gotten the paper tiger Russia out of there in a huff, right? In probably a couple of months, Russia would have been back home and they'd probably be storming Crimea right now. But no, they doled out the weapons slowly, little by little, making sure, in my opinion, that the conflict, to prolong the conflict, to plunge the global economy into deeper recession, to, further fuck up the supply chains, starve a whole bunch of people all over the damn world, impoverish everybody, right? You will own nothing and you'll be happy, yada, 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 all this fucking nonsense, right? They prolong the conflict to demolish, to raise some of these cities. Mariupol is going to be definitely one of the pilot cities. To raise them to the ground completely, almost completely, right? Thoroughly, so that they could start anew, build back better from ground zero, right? The complete and utter control grid, basically, right? From the ground up, you got to create completely new infrastructure for a completely new model, right, of a city. And it's shocking to me how, so many people who for so long have criticized the World Economic Forum, right, are somehow backtracking, proving to be hypocrites, excusing Putin, talking about how, he's supposedly, like, where's the evidence, right? This is all going along with the plan. Like, what happened to you people? Like, what happened to you? Right? Who's paying you to do this shit? Are you that fucking dumb? That emotional that you're doing this shit for free? Really? I mean, maybe. Maybe we're so emotionally invested in an alleged homo pedo like Putin because, Christianity and shit. That maybe it must be cognitive dissonance, man. Or you're getting paid, man. You gotta be getting paid to fucking pull your panties down like that and expose yourself. Straight up. What happened to all the rhetoric, right? Holodomor. Oh, the evil Russians with their Holodomor starved, poor, innocent Ukrainian people. And now they want to take away your meat and do the same thing to you, right? You got another fucking Holodomor. Gee, happening in the same place, right? Maybe not exactly, but yeah. Let's wait and see what happens, right? And the Russians are still doing it, right? And what happened to that narrative? Well, how much are they paying you? You know what I mean? Anyway, for all of you who are still fucking confused about what's happening here, right? This is the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, right? Brought to you by Ross Congress. Is that a Rosicrucian Rose? I don't know, right? Right? So what's Ross Congress? New opportunities in a new world, right? Values and opportunities in a multipolar world. Something that China and Russia their leaders been talking about, right? Multipolarity, something that Alexander Dugin talks about, right? Multipolarity, right? And this is the World Economic Forum talking about, right? A multipolar world? Really? Can we? Here we go. The age of America's hegemony is over, with different countries and regions demanding their place in global decision-making, right? And now you got Americans, right? And this was described, this was going to happen, said Yuri Bezmenov, right? The KGB defector. Allegedly, some other KGB defectors have said some very unsavory things about Putin's sexuality, but, you know, you could go research that for yourself if you want. Anyway, the goal was to subvert and demoralize, right, the West, America, as Yuri said. It didn't play out exactly like the KGB had planned because, you know, the Soviet Union collapsed, and it's a battle, right? There's various factions trying to do various things, and they don't all agree, obviously. So, you know, look, if these people were all powerful like some of you think they are, and they had it all their own way, then you'd already be literally in chains. You couldn't do anything, okay? You couldn't talk about this online. Probably not even your friends. It's not that simple, guys. Right? But as Yuri Bezmenov said, right? You're going to be demoralized. Where you could be presented with, the information could be right in front of you, right? And you're still not going to be able to make sense of it. Because that's how fucking demoralized you're going to be, right? You'll see Biden doing something, and, you know, your conscience, right, will work right then and there. And then you'll see Putin doing it, and like you just gloss over it, repress it, right? You won't have the same outlook, right? Both sides are doing the same thing, right? Enslaving you, stabbing you against your will, right? Locking you up in your house, so on and so forth. Pushing, you know, this sustainable development, right? Degenerating their populace in various ways, right? Russia's fucking way more degenerate than the United States. Are you fucking kidding me? Way more degenerate. But somehow that's like the model of traditionalism in Christianity, right? With the head of the Russian Orthodox Church being a fucking billionaire. How did he make his money, right? With the Russian Orthodox Church being basically a front for the fucking KGB, right? Not all, but they're in there, right? Telling Russians, if you die in this war, right, you go to heaven. Right? That's what they're saying. Right? This is Putin's holy war. This is Putin's jihad. I thought jihad wasn't cool. Oh, it's a Christian jihad, so it's different. This is the cult of the assassin, right? You're going to go to heaven. You die for me, right? You go to heaven and you can have sex with all the virgins you want, right? This is essentially the same shit, right? Die for me in this war and you will be saved. You'll go to heaven. You got fucking Americans running around, right? Yeah, America's fucked up. No doubt about it. Why is it fucked up, right? Because it's been infiltrated by communists and Marxists via the university, right? Because those evil forces have been coming to America for decades, degenerating it, right? And you're a product of this now. But they play this fucking game with you, right? Like gay's bad. Like that's a huge fucking issue. It's an issue, don't get me wrong, but that's not your main, shouldn't be your main concern if you're really concerned about humanity, right? And what's good. They got this game they're playing with you, right? This little, just like abortion back in the day, and maybe a little bit again recently, right? Just this diversion, right? This little fucking stupid thing that in the end doesn't fucking matter, and it's not that important, right? But because fucking homo pedo Putin over there, right? He said some funny things about gays on TV. He's gonna save Western civilization by nuking it. I mean, I'm all over the place. Look, there's definitely lots wrong with America, no doubt about it. Why is that, right? Because it's been taken over to a large degree. There's still some people fighting it. To a large, I mean, they used to talk openly about the Khazars in the U.S. Congress, or the communism, or you know, Russian, Eastern German infiltrators into America, right? Looking to do exactly that, subvert, right? And it's happened now. And we're all byproducts of it, those of us that were raised in the West, right? You can shed the programming, right? Can you though? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, it's uncanny to me, like how powerful this propaganda has been, where it's gotten to a point that people are just talking out both sides of their fucking mouth, contradicting themselves, not making any fucking sense, when all this shit is right in front of them, right? I'm talking about the big picture, right? Obviously, it's a lot more complex than I could ever explain it. But you got literally Americans wanting to destroy America, essentially begging Putin to nuke them, you know what I mean? Guys, it's never gonna happen. That's just another fucking psyop. That shit ain't never happening. But, you know, if you believe Putin is for real, right? That's what he's implying, right? And you're supporting a guy that wants to destroy you, right? And ultimately, that is the end goal. While at the same time rebelling against, you know, Holodomor and mass starvation and nihilism and you know, LGBT and you got a gay pedo with nukes aimed at you, right? And you just can't get enough of that, man. You're straight up retarded. Those of you that are, man, I got nothing more to say. I'm truly amazed. You know what I mean? I'm truly amazed. Thanks for watching.